So as you can see, it's in the process of being built. It's even bigger than the tank. So here we are again, out in the workshop, welding lots of metal together and having a great time. Anyway, this is the tank transporter. So if you remember from previous videos, and I'll do some little flashbacks for you, I built a tank. Now, the tank was 1/6 scale, so the tank itself is about 1.5 meters long by about 60-70 centimetres wide, and it weighed in quite heavy. I think it was pushing 90 kilos, which is kind of pushing it a bit there, really. Anyway, so we were doing a little bit of filming and that kind of stuff with it, and it was suggested that I build a tank transporter to go with it, because that would look really, really good. You know, tank transporter driving up, tank being loaded off the back. So anyway, this is where it started. Now, it's a custom design. It's kind of not really based on any existing kind of lorry system, but there's bits taken from lots of different tank transporter designs around the world, and then sort of put into this one. It's not finished yet, not even close. He said there's no glass in here, we've got no electronics on it. We've got it going just to test it, and it certainly goes. It's only got a little 300-watt motor in it, but my goodness, it has the ability to pull a lot of weight. So we've had the trailer on the back with the tank on it, and with me sitting on it, and it pulls it like it's just no problem at all. As you can see, whole thing is quite large, 1/6 scale as well. In fact, it surprised me how large this thing actually was. I don't really know why I was surprised that it was actually bigger than the tank, because it makes sense, doesn't it, that to have a tank transporter, it needs to be bigger than the tank it's transporting. Otherwise, well, it couldn't transport the tank, could it? Yeah, so anyway, there's a bit of, logic there, but logic didn't really kick in at the time. Anyway, all made of steel again. Really, it's just easy to work with. It does mean it is quite heavy. I have no idea what this weighs, but it certainly isn't as heavy as the tank. But it's too heavy. It takes two people to lift it. All the glass and everything will go in here, and I'm going to build a little interior as well, because I'm really sad like that. And I'm going to make it all out of foam and have little lights in there and all that kind of stuff. And all this lifts up, so we'll be able to get access to it. It's just like, you know, real lorry cab that tilts forwards. I went with these tyres. I love these tyres. These are mountain board tyres and wheels, and they're basically just the right size. And I love the tread pattern on these ones. These were really, really good. So I got a few. You know, the funny thing is I couldn't actually buy these tyres and these wheels cheap. You know, they were very, very expensive. It was cheaper for me to actually buy some mountain boards. So I got the entire mountain board with wheels and tyres. So if anybody wants any old mountain board decks and trucks and stuff like that, then message me below and we'll see what we can sort out. Because all I wanted was the wheels and the tyres. And as you can see, there's quite a few of them. They all turn. I can't really demo that at the moment. There's a big chunky servo in there, which moves all these wheels. So it kind of four-wheel steering and all that. It's really, really good. And as I said, it's using the drive system at the back with a custom-made differential. That, I tell you what, it was really interesting. I thought the tank was hard to make in certain respects. But my goodness, you would think drive at the back, wheel steering at the front, it would be easy to make. But actually, this is proved to be more of a challenge than the actual tank. And the biggest problem was, and I'll do some close-ups so you can see, but it was the suspension. Now this has, I don't know why I opened that, this has full working suspension on all of the 8 wheels. Now that in itself was a challenge, trying to work out spring rates and all of that stuff and calculating weights, and I'd just forgotten how complicated all this was just to make something. I suppose in effect I've made a truck, but I've just made it on a smaller scale. If you were to build this and scale it up, in theory it could work. But so yeah, all the suspension is using a leaf spring system, apart from the front 2 wheels here, because of the weight of the cab, because of the steel this is made of, and this is about 1.5, I think 1.5 mil steel. I've offset the the springs here with some coil springs as well. So as well as the leaf springs in there, we've got the leaf spring support, but with some coil springs at the front, add a little bit of it adds a little bit of support, meaning, you know, that I get a good movement on the wheels. So in effect, all 8 wheels stay on the ground when it's going over rough terrain, which is really, really good. We've got a sound system in this one, which sounds already quite good, but it's going to be beefed up a little bit because I've got kind of top-mounted speakers that look like kind of grills in there. This one's got working winches it's going to have on the back of it as well. Now, I don't know why I need working winches. I just wanted to build them because I thought it was quite fun to build some working winches. And it's got storage lockers, which you can't see, which are around this side. The whole of the top section here lifts off. And then inside here is all the electronics. Now, I've got a fair bit in there. I haven't got everything in there because all I really needed to put in there initially was the batteries, the speed controller, the RC and all those things, because I wanted to double check that it actually moved and had enough power from the little 300 watt motor to move everything that it needed to move. And obviously, bearing in mind, it's got to move potentially 100 kilograms of tank and trailer. And it did it. It didn't even miss a beat. It was absolutely perfect. So it's got more than enough power, and combine that with the suspension with these really grippy tyres, it should be quite. It should do really, really well. So there we have it so far. This is obviously the tracked element of the tank transporter, which is in the process of being built. As I said, I've got some basic colour on it, but there's a lot more to do. We've got a lot of panels to put on. I've got all these things that I'm working on now, welding on, all these rails and things like that, because it's, you know, well, it looks good. And obviously the trailer is worked on as well. Now, I can pan the camera around for you and show you. So as you can see here, let's come around. You can see here is the trailer. So once that is hooked on, the tank obviously would go up onto the ramps at the back. These will all be powered, these ramps. They'll all kind of come down on their own. And then that will hook on the front. And then obviously that hooks onto the back of the tractor unit up there. So as you can see, it's a little bit chaotic here at the moment. There's just so much going on that I just haven't been able to stop. In fact, the tank and the tank project has been a bit of a rest, really, so I can sit down and sort of pootle around doing a bit of model making. Vicky has had some work done on her, so she's all been polished up. She's all looking really kind of sharp and ready to go. She's going out on a few events in the next few days. New batteries on her as well, which is really, really good. Nothing really to tell you about her. She's the same as she always is. She's still going strong, no problem at all, really. Tiffany has had some more upgrades on her, and I will share those with you in the next few weeks. But she will be going out to a couple of events in the next few months. So basically, you'll be able to see her and see all the new upgrades that she's got on her. We've had loads that we've been doing on other projects. So one project that we have been working on, which is quite interesting, that some of you will remember from a while back, is this. So here's another project we're working on. So some of you will remember this. This is the Terminator bike. It used to have a Kawasaki ZZR 600 engine in there, which has now come out. So again, anybody after a Kawasaki ZZR 600 engine, let me know. I've got everything, got the carbs, got everything, and we'll do a deal. So some very special things are going to happen to this. This is going to become part of a bigger Terminator collection that we are going to explore. And the idea of this is, initially, this was a rideable bike. This, you know, you could get on this and ride this. It won't be a rideable bike anymore in the same way that it was before, although it would still go, but it's going to be a smart bike. So the idea is this is going to be designed as a robot. So the aim is going to be to build some gyro systems into it and have it so that on the stand, standing up on 2 wheels, it can just stand there on its own, and it will be able to lean on its own, looking like it's doing all those functions autonomously. The gun system, now if you remember, we had big miniguns at the sides. they're being redesigned slightly, so they are going to fold into the cavity where the engine used to be. So the whole bike will look really streamlined, but at the press of a button, the guns will come out, and then, you know, they'll be able to retract and move in that position. And obviously then they will be part of the gyro system as well. Thinking as well about the spine on the back, that I might articulate the spine. So we might do another Iron Man sort of thing that we did with Tiffany, but we do it on here as well. And the colour scheme. What I might do with the colour scheme is change it slightly to bring it in a little bit more in line with Tiffany's colours, but still keeping the Terminator-y kind of Moto T kind of look. So this is another project that we're working on that, again, is going to be ready, hopefully, for the big show in September. And Mrs. Brake is going to tell you a lot more about that.
There you go. Good girl. Make sure you eat up, okay? You've got to start going good. Hiya. Mastker Maker's not in the studio, so I've got a bit of a chance to do all my jobs that are on my list, because I've got loads going on in May and June. So first, Dalek dusting. I noticed she's got a big new shiny finish on her, which is really, really cool, but there's a bit of dust in here. And, you know, I just got to check the details, because Dalek's going out to go to the Futures Fair on the 1st of May at Springfield. And then after that, got a bit more training for Rose, because she's only young and she's going out 2 Stars of Time on the 22nd of June. We'd love to see you all there at Swindon, so some of our local followers can come, which will be great. And we know we've got to keep feeding Rose up and training her, because the young ones, they can be really dangerous. So, you know, a lot of work to do on her. Tiffany, she's in the back there. Got to get her ready. She's going out in June as well. Loads and loads going on. And then a lot of work going on for September as well. That's not so much dusting as organising, so I won't tell you what yet, but tune into the next video and all will be revealed. So that's really cool. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. What are you doing?
Hello, Rose.
So got to train someone else as well. Anyway. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Why did he have to come back in? I thought I had a bit of peace and quiet to get on with my jobs.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. And check us out on Patreon, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Say bye, Mastker Maker.
Bye, Mastker Maker.